now tuned into the greatest.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's jump right in.
We can literally just jump right in. We can just literally jump right in.
Yeah.
Don't worry where Brandon is right now. He's he's being held captive somewhere. That's what is happening.
Oh, you know what? I don't think it's okay. I'm in a secure location. I just
okay.
I just can't film at the actual place that I'm at, so I had to
gotcha.
come
You're
to
fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. It is cool. So the drama is the garlic oil is still blowing up, Brandon.
Yes.
Literally daily burnt garlic, which is I'm fine with it. It is burnt garlic. I'm not even gonna argue. It's whatever.
You know what? It's so funny. Listen, it is what it is. But I would, I think the the thing is you need to piggyback off that clout. Like I hate to say it, but listen, people like drama and they like controversy, but when you go to a professional level and you think of the different types of techniques and ways that are out there, it's just funny to me,
Mm-hmm.
So
not yet.
yeah.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, let's get into the other drama. Let's get into it. I'm ready,
bro. You want to start it off? Go for it.
Yeah, no. Pull up the video so people know what we're talking about. Pull up the video and play it, and then we'll talk about it. We'll narrate it a little bit.
Okay, give me 1 second.
So you go ahead.
Go for it. I started this whole thing. I think I keep mentioning it because I think people need to understand it more about front of house and back of house and like the pay disparity. But it was more satire on my part. And the whole drama is front of house don't do crap and they get paid more. And I just worded it in a really aggressive way, I guess. That's what I'm going to say it. So I'm gonna pull it up right here. Give me 1 sec so everybody can see it on the TikTok on the YouTube space.
Yep.
And here's what it is. Right.
And then listen in all the listeners. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I said not to be aggressive on anybody, but if the front of house is making more money than I do, why is that? And I'm trying to end the tips in our culture here in the U.S. because in Asia there's no such thing as tipping. It's only here all U.S. based, and the drama on there is. Let me read you some comments.
Yeah. So basically, for everybody that's listening, basically what Casey is referring to is how uneven the pay is in a restaurant between the cooks and the servers, right? Where arguably the actual job that's being done by the cooks is much more difficult and harder is what we'll say. And that is the controversy. And listen, I'm going to be honest, as a chef, myself and Casey are a little bit biased because we work in the kitchen. So we're going to do the best we can to kind of like be on the outside looking in. So with that being said, basically let me give you my experience with this and we'll kind of go from there. Over the years, like tipping it started at like 10%, 12% here, 15%, but now it's ridiculous, right? There's some tables that they tip 20, 30, and myself, I tip anywhere from 25 to 35%, no matter what. Doesn't matter. Of course. Doesn't matter. Good examples. The other day I had a $200 tab and bro, I left like $60. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, that's the way I was taught. And like, that's the way I'm in the industry. So I feel the need to do that. Not everybody can do that and not everybody should do that, but I'll be damned. Like if I have my kids with me and they make a mess, bro, I'm tipping more just out of,
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And it's like, in all honesty, I don't care if my server sucks. I don't care if the bartender sucks. I don't care if the busboy sucks because we all have bad days. And sometimes the amount of work that's given to them in a short period of time is unreasonable. Servers will get sat with 3 or 4 tables at a time and it's unmanageable. Of course, you're not going to get, and like, I was never, too upset about that, about the servers making too much money, but I could see, like, it never really got to me. But I would tell the servers to just keep their mouth shut when they're around my cooks.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Because I've seen it. Listen, when I worked at Hotel Bel Air, and I'll say it because I don't work there anymore, but some of these servers clearing 120, 130,000 a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, easy.
And
front of house,
bro. And the food runners, you know what I'm saying? Anywhere from 60 to 90, 80K. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll be honest. Yeah, and I'll be honest, like, look, the hours worked, it's way below, what a cook works or what a chef works. And the thing is like, I'm not mad about that. The only way I used to explain that to, and trust me, I've had cooks quit on me and go to the front of the house because they're like, the job is much less stressful, even though you have to deal with, customers, honestly, it's kind of like give and take, right? I think, but I will be honest, Casey, and I think the thing is we all have to tread lightly when we say this, because I will argue that servers are very important, right? Just as important as cooks. We need both of them as chefs. So absolutely. I understand the people in your comment section, and I totally get it. I totally get it. Now, this is what I will say, and this is my only advice, as a server, where people are now making a career out of this, and I don't blame them. Which
is fine.
Dude, seriously, yes, it's a career, especially if you want to be a captain in a Michelin star restaurant or whatever the case may be. But the same should go for cooks. Now, should the cooks take the pay for the servers? No, they shouldn't. But they need to be compensated as well. Think about this, man. I know, dude, some cooks, they deserve more. All cooks deserve more. All chefs deserve more. But we can't sit here and blame that on the front of the house, which is, I think, what everybody's perception is. You know what I'm saying? And so I will agree with you, but I'm also going to play devil's avocado because I think it's important. And there's no good way to say what you said. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You said it exactly right. You said everything right. And like, when I think about that, I'm like, yeah, he's fucking right, because I've seen it firsthand. Yeah. Servers in Vegas, ridiculous, bro. Bartenders in Vegas, dude, I'm telling you, they work through. Think about this. My wife was a bartender when we were in Las Vegas. Okay. She would make what I make in a week in 2 or 3 days.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Swear to God.
But then, see, like, so the argument is my wife is a server. That's how we met in a restaurant, and she actually commented quite a bit on there. Also, you get your taxes taken out. Yeah. Also, you get your taxes taken out on your paycheck and get your money back on your taxes. Obviously, you have to save for it because it's a different form, right? And then she said, "I'm divorcing you. I love you so much." That's her end comment.
Yeah, because listen, it is. Listen, let's be honest, Casey. I see servers get shit on all night. I see food runners get shit on all night. They get treated like shit sometimes. They have to deal with really grumpy customers. You know what I'm saying? So they do take a brunt of work mentally. Now, physically, it's different, but at the same time, I still see that, from, like I said, from a managerial perspective, it's not their fault, right? Correct. It's not their fault that the cooks don't make X amount of dollars, right? We're just trying to advocate for our cooks and prep cooks and dishwashers and stuff. So the thing is the way that I think of it is like, yes, there needs to be a change, but it shouldn't come from the servers. It needs to come from ownership. You know what I'm saying?
The entire process altogether.
That's it. Like, there's no, like, when you look at profit and loss, you look at labor and how it breaks down. Of course, servers get paid $3 an hour on paper, but the problem is the tip pool. You know what I'm saying? They get a really good amount from the tip pool. That has nothing to do with back of the house. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is there's a couple ways to look at this, and there's a couple ways to be negative about it. But just like I said, for everybody that's listening, there's no easy or soft way to talk about it. It's better to hit it straight on. So what I would do, like, if I were to open a restaurant right now, I don't think it's right to, especially in America, to take if a server, makes a tip or does great with the table and they decide, you can say gratuity's already added, but they decide to leave him that tip or her that tip. Yeah. Man, that is fucking theirs. They shouldn't have to split it with anybody. They shouldn't have to split. I've seen some restaurant owners where if they get tipped, they have to tip out everybody else, right? And I'm like,
no, that's not how it goes.
You know what I'm saying?
They worked for that table. You know what I'm saying? Your server is part of you.
Yeah. So, that happened to me at Per Se. I went to go dine at Per Se, and the gratuity's already included, right? And I gave the guy an extra $200. And I was like, yo, keep this for yourself, man. Me and my wife had a wonderful time. It was so amazing. And I don't know whether he has to split that with everybody, but I was hoping that he cuffed it, put it in his pocket. Yeah. So that's a different story. Here's another good example. I was a chef at Spago, and somebody came up and, they really enjoyed their experience, and they gave me $100. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wow. They, yo, hey, chef, great meal. I loved it. Here's $100. And I said, okay, cool, man. Thanks a lot. And you know what I did? I gave the 100 to the bartender, and I was like, hey, split it between 8, Then I split it with the cooks, because, like, here's the thing. for me, it's different. You know what I'm saying? I don't work for tips. I don't work for tips. But if I get tipped, I'm like, okay, share the love, right? That might not be the same for a server where that is their pay. You know what I'm saying? Like we get salary. So to compare the server to the cook as far as wage, I think is the wrong way to go about it. That's my summary. I think it should come from ownership and how they want to divide the money. But the server's tips shouldn't, listen, if the cook wants to go be a server, that's great. The only thing I tell them is, that's pretty much it, right? You're not getting any higher unless you want to work more. You know what I'm saying? You're going to cap yourself out, whatever it is, whatever it's based off the revenue. So 100 to 120 grand a year. With a cook, you build up and you build an actual resume in a career. Even though serving is a career, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying being a cook, there's stages. You get to sous chef, then you get to chef de cuisine. And I don't know about you, but the most important thing in my life is progress, right? Progress. And being fulfilled. So that's a decision that has to come from the cook if they want to transfer to the front of the house. But I think it's really something important to talk about. And honestly, like if I were to open a restaurant right now, and I'll leave it at this, if I were to open a restaurant right now, I would do everything all inclusive. But but the cooks are running some food. The cooks are going to be a part of the front of the house.
That's what I'm saying, man. Okay? This is like because the mentality. I really wish I grew up back in Asia when we were doing this. These servers were actually the cooks. Like we would we would do it like how they do sushi. Literally the chef is serving you the food from your face. We're doing the running. We're doing the stuff. I believe it should be that way too. Here.
So like here's a good example.
Both.
Yeah. Here's a good example. Like if I like, and only because like when you prepare a dish, you put your passion and soul into it, right? And when I'm explaining, hold on, let me turn up this damn, hold on one second. So when I was doing like tasting menus and stuff for people, and I bring the dish out and I explain to the crowd what's in it and how I prepare it, and I give some details, some specific details, it comes across so much more genuine, which I think adds to the experience, right? If it's a server who's like literally just trying to get the food out, right? Like, and this all depends on the type of operation that you're running. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you're doing 300-400 covers a night, then no, you need a food runner, you need an expo, you need all of these things. But for me, I think what's really important is the cooks like are part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all part of it, right? And then front of the house should be that front of the house. So they made the beverage, clearing the tables, you know what I'm saying? Hosting, doing this thing. But like, because like, I think the more intimate the setting, the kind of better off you are and the more you can take care of somebody. I don't care who you are, whether you're a cook or a server, if you have too much of a workload within a short period of time, there's only so much you can do. Yeah. If you fire off to a cook, if you fire off 10 dishes, guess what? Guaranteed 20% are going to be fucked up.
Yeah.
You like, give a server
like $5 or some shit because they couldn't.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it.
You give a server more than 5 tables, bro. Come on, one of those tables can complain. There's only and it's
so much you can do.
Yeah, and hopefully we can have some people feedback on this comment, and I'd really like to see some front of the house managers chip in because I know they see it too, man. Because they know some of their employees make more money than them.
I have one, but the only comment here, so I'll pull it up as I'm scrolling right here. Manager here, literally the whole industry is messed. So like, it just depends on some of the stuff. But like, I think the other ones is like, I think your feelings are being misplaced. The servers are given a better opportunity to make more money, demand more as exec chef as you have more power. So it's a trade-off. We're salaried employees. Yeah. If it's slow, we're still gonna pay that fucking salary. For front of house, that's not the case. So it's all different, man.
Yeah. So that's a good point. You make a great point. If the restaurant's slow, guess what? We're making more money. If not, but like here's the thing. It is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It is. And I don't know, I don't know how the front of the house feels about, with this question, like the way it was like proposed, it takes a lot of thought. It really does. And this is not a solution that's going to happen like this. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of ways that, there's a way to meet in the middle. There's a way to find that common ground because at the end of the day, we're all one team. We're one team, one common goal, make sure the guest is happy. That's it. Right. Everything else.
Question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
In California, do you guys have laws about splitting tips? Is that a thing there?
Oh, like tip pool? I'm not
Like
really
tip
sure.
pool?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the laws are, but I know that they do a lot of tip pooling. So especially like in the higher end Michelin star restaurants,
Yeah.
everybody helps everybody, and then they share all the tips at the end. But here's the thing: I don't know if I necessarily like that to a certain extent, because there are some people that outperform other people. It's just the way of the world.
Absolutely.
There's just a way. So if you get 5 tables that night, right, and the other person only has 2, but 3 of those they requested you as the captain, right? So then you still have to share your fucking tips with somebody else. Like, so I can see how that can be, kind of messed up too. You know what I'm saying? Because trust me, it's happened. Listen, I remember doing a catering gig. I remember doing a catering gig for this Jewish family, and I did everything, bro. I freaking crushed it. Did everything.
Wow.
I had my staff there, but guess what? They didn't really want like 2 people. They only wanted 1 person. They were like, hey, just give us the head honcho. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I got this, right? So I pretty much did all the work. They were just like, hanging out in the back, but it wasn't really like kind of fair, because, I told them to, hey, just chill out. I got this, and
it wasn't a team effort.
It wasn't. And one of the guys was working way harder than said other person. And you could totally tell. And it was funny because the lead person gave me a really big tip, and we split it 3 ways. And, in his mind, he's like, well, that's not fair, chef. You did most of the work. Like, you did pretty much all the work. I'm like, okay, but that was a guest request, right? That's different. Because trust me, I would have had your little punk ass out there doing it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, straight up. But then he's like, but I don't think so-and-so we should split it, this way. And I'm like, bro, it's done. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you want to fight about $20, like, then that's fine. But like, you're debating me for no reason, because I already split it up. Like, we split it equally. Boom, we move on. But some people really take it personally. So I think it's tough. But
that's the hot take. Like, I worded it kind of dickish, like a little bit, just to get people to click on it and comment, because I want to see what it is. However, there's truth to it. And if you kind of go on the replies, I reply to you. I was like, no, I want this to be known, but that's not my actual take on it. I'm all for it.
The problem is,
but like,
the problem is like, they don't know that your wife is a servant. They don't know.
Correct.
Like,
they don't know.
Listen,
like,
here's the thing, man. I get it all the time. I think a lot of people get my, they say that I'm either cocky or over, and I'm like, no, there's a difference between competence and cockiness. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Knowing what the fuck you're talking about and being able to carry yourself through any situation. There's a big difference. And like, listen, some people, it happens to me all the time. People like, oh my God, you're arrogant, or you're, and I'm just like, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's just like, and here's the thing, this is why I go all in on being a chef, because this is what I know. This is what I do. This is what I live. I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to be an electrician. No, go to somebody else's page. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, my whole social media shebang is all about chef,
cooking,
chef, cooking,
exactly.
chef. And that's it. And like, hey, sometimes the way I do things might not be the way you see how people do them, but that's what makes our pages unique. You know what I'm saying? And, it is what it is, man. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't really post my personal life, because I want to keep, I like to keep my kids and wife separate. But,
of course. Yeah, to each own. I don't care. I'm just like, here.
Yeah.
I don't have kids. I just have my wife and a cat. So I mean, everything is on there. You can find it on YouTube too. Like, everything is you can find everything, but it's just personal at that point.
That's okay though. But like, the problem is I don't want people in my personal life. You know what I mean? Because like, you see so many creators where they have followers that are so freaking attached to their personal life.
Yes.
Like, really into, like, look what happened with we're gonna talk about a little TikTok drama, but
okay.
Brittany Dawson. I just came across this. Is
this Brittany Dawson?
Yeah, okay. She's a YouTuber. She's on IG. I just found out about her yesterday, and this is what happened. I'm gonna give you everybody that's listening in a nutshell. Basically, she lives her whole life on social media, right? This is what she does, right? And she is a fitness instructor or something like that. She sells fitness classes or whatever. But here's the thing, man. She had a tragic accident with her dog. Okay. Oh, wow. The dog ran out in the street and got mangled by a car. Super tragic. Ooh. Sad. Super sad. And the problem is she's so used to putting her life on social media. She went on social media and was crying in her car, making a video about how her dog died. And then the worst part about it is her boyfriend, who's an ex-cop, put the dog out of his misery. So shot the dog to stop the pain. And the thing is everybody is clapping back. Like, why did you shoot the dog? Why did you do this? Why did you make a video at it? And I feel horrible. I feel bad, not only for the creator, but I also, she turned off the comments on the video and I didn't really get too into it, but I'm like, see, that's the problem. It's like, listen, that's like so intimate. Think about it, man.
It's a little too much.
Yeah. And it's like, everybody's going to want to say their opinion and then they just attack. And it's like, you know what, that unfortunately, dude, shit like that happens. And, you have to make a decision in the moment. And we don't all know what happened to that dog or if it was worth it to take him to the vet or if it was me, I would have took it to the vet, but everybody thinks differently, man. And, and it's just like, that's one of the reasons why I tell a lot of people, don't put your personal life out there, because then you get,
it just depends.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, because she definitely monetized off that video. She definitely made a really good thumbnail. Right. And that's what people are mad about. It's like, how can you be mad about her about that? I mean, she puts her whole life on the internet and I don't know her. And I don't know her, but that's the problem that I see with a lot of creators who put their personal information out there. Oh, my new boyfriend, then her and the boyfriend break up and then they attack. And you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, that shit.
I don't think they're ready for the attachment as you're explaining with your fans, especially if you have a decent following like that. I understand it fully. I definitely get it. If I had kids, I'd definitely be a lot more private. Like nothing.
I'll tell you, dude, I'll tell you what.
My kids.
I'll tell you what, every post that I post with my kids, usually my son doesn't have a shirt on or whatever, dude, TikTok flags it.
Of course.
They flag so much of my videos, man. Like, I swear to God, I just posted 3 in the last couple of days. None of them got flagged. And I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is a win. This is a win. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people got to think. When you're posting on these platforms, you have no control over any of that. You don't have control over the algorithm. You ain't got control over anybody commenting. You ain't got control over none of that.
It's absolutely nothing. You're at the mercy of these platforms, sort of, per se. I got one more not controversial. There's another one that you asked me to save. Mushrooms. Let's talk about mushrooms real quick.
Let's go.
So I'm in the camp of I will do whatever I need. So if it's really dirty, if I'm getting from let's say a literal, not what do they call, forager. If it's dirty, I will wash it. Not a big deal. If it comes from a different purveyor that's already pre-cleaned, maybe I'll just brush it off. I'm fine with that too. But the conversation is, the mushroom soaks up water. You're like, no. And I've been really kind of defending my stance on this because people don't understand mushrooms or most produce are 90% water. It doesn't retain water. It's a surface water kind of thing. But to explain that to a normal person, that's where all the comments are kind of attacking, on my end. But what's your take on mushrooms?
So here's the thing. And I kind of agree with you. And here's my rule of thumb. If they are cultivated mushrooms, right? So if they're cultivated, meaning they're man-made, then, you have to visually see them. If they're dirty, then wipe them off. If not, half the time, they're not really that dirty.
Correct. But we typically like our hen of the woods or our chicken of the woods, if it's a little too dirty, I will wash it. I will straight up just not soak it, but run some water into it, get all the dirt out, and then you're good. You're absolutely fine. Even with oyster mushrooms, same exact thing. Cause really on the ends of it, if it's stemmy and you can see the little dirt, not a big deal. I'll wash that right off.
So here's the thing. If it's button mushrooms, good example. Button mushrooms, hey, 90% of the time they're really clean. Sometimes they leave the stem on and you have the dirt, and it's not really dirt, it's soil but it's been cultivated. So these ones I'll just, chop the top, throw them in a mixing bowl, fill it up with water, scoop them out. They'll be totally fine. But if it's shiitake or king trumpet or oyster mushrooms or, the small hansameji moist mushrooms, I don't waste a second washing them things.
Oh yeah.
Not even a second. If they are wild mushrooms are different. So chanterelle, porcinis, porcini, you don't really need to wash.
Yeah, you don't need to wash.
Morels, you have to wash, dude. I don't care what anybody says.
They're
You gotta
literally
wash them.
caked in dirt. Like it's pretty intense.
Yeah. With morels, black trumpet, you need to wash 7-10 times, dude. So like any type of wild mushrooms, I always take a look and make the best decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's the thing. It's like, you have to take in consideration, like when it comes from the dirt out in the wild, you really don't know. Like I've gotten mushrooms before that still have like worms in them and have like, bugs. It's crazy, but that is my 2 cents. But also, use your best judgment, right? Like if you're getting a portobello mushroom from Whole Foods, right? And there's like, and all the soccer moms have been touching them and been up in them. It's like, you don't have to wash it, but honestly, I'm not going to be mad if you do, scrape out the gills, give it a nice little rinse. But if I get portobello mushrooms commercially, I don't fucking wash them. I don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think it's user preference, and I kind of agree with you. But just to come out and say, don't ever wash mushrooms, I think is silly.
That's the one I was fighting with. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You literally can. Like if there's a popular video came out like maybe 10 years ago now by Alton Brown on the Food Network. He proved this literally, I think in live television. He soaked up some button mushrooms, and he's like, literally just 5% water goes onto the skin. Literally, that's it. That no matter how long you soak this, that's how it's gonna go. The only difference it would be is if you heat it, because now you're drawing out the moisture from the inside. Said liquid will penetrate into the mushroom. That's the only difference of all this. You can definitely wash mushrooms. It's not a big deal. So, but the lady that I tagged the video, that she was peeling the skin. And they're like, oh my God, you can peel the skin. We're like, well, sort of. We don't really do that. But yes, you can if you want. And they thought that was like ridiculous.
Yeah, it totally depends. And honestly, I agree. I think we're both on the same page. It really depends. Like here's another example. You're not going to take a morel mushroom or a black trumpet mushroom and just wipe it with a paper towel and serve it. You know why? Because if you make a mushroom dish and then the guest gets one nibble of sand, you ruin their whole experience.
My guy.
But here's a pro tip, and this is what I used to do. Sometimes mushrooms, when they get really, really wet, it's almost really good to just kind of put them in the oven at a low temp for about 15-20 minutes, just to kind of dry them out a little bit before you put them back in the walk-in.
That's it.
And so, anyway, Casey, I gotta run back to work, man. But let's wrap it up.
I know you.
Yeah,
I know you're crazy over there.
No,
like
it's
I
not
said,
crazy, but it's like
some more drama. I'll be posting some more drama on the socials because I think that's my next move. Just straight up on drama on everybody. However, if you are a professional or if you are someone that knows how to cook, and then you're coming to my or any of our pages and you're assuming your position, just know I will come right back at you. Okay, just know that. Don't start if you can't finish it. Like I want to be in debate, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. That's why I think we vibe, because I think that's why we vibe, and that's why, because we're professionals, right? We take this shit seriously. But here's the thing: if I say, "Hey, nah, that doesn't look right," you're not going to be like, "Oh, blah blah blah
of
blah,"
course.
and then from a comment section, no, we debate about it, we talk about it like grown-ups, because it's like I think that's what really makes good. I think that's what makes really good conversation, right? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the reason why. Let's talk about the oomph behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what makes a difference. And anyway, I think that's great, man. Listen, sorry, I've got to wrap it up early, but I really wanted to get that. Half an hour is good, though. We're good with a half an hour.
No, that's very good. Other than that, though, all our contacts are on social. Make sure you guys follow us on Breaking Bread Podcast on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Everything's streaming on the YouTube page, on TikTok page. But in that, we'll see you guys later. Have a good one.
Peace.